Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It's Foren's the fiance.
No, it's not. It's Foren's the foodie.
Oh, yeah, it's Foren's the foodie. How can I forget?
How could you forget?
How could I forget? Muscle memory.
We're back.
We are back like a crack addict at rehab.
Like we never left.
Oh, for transparency, guys, I had a big cry. So,
yeah, Joe, we were supposed to record like an hour ago.
Yeah,
and we've been talking for that whole time.
Yeah, I had a big cry. It wasn't necessary, it was needed. Sometimes you just need to cry it out, but yeah.
You do? Do you feel better?
Yeah, I do feel better for it. I do feel better, yeah. I mean, I still feel a bit sad, but hey, that's life.
That's life.
Such is life. Don't worry, guys, my husband isn't putting hands on me.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, this nigga putting his hands on me.
Dumb.
God. So yeah, we're doing this documentary, and
Girl.
It was called Finding Robert Fisher.
Girl.
And this documentary, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna come out about it. It was shit.
Oh, it was 0 out of 10.
Don't
Definitely not
watch
recommend.
it. For once, we'll actually be saying to you, do not watch, abort mission, cancel, exit
I'm not even
player.
gonna put the link in the bio because don't do that to
Yeah,
yourself.
don't do that to yourself. There was no need. It was so white as well. I know that the whole subject matter was white,
that's what
but
I was
it
gonna say.
was white. No, it was like overwhelmingly white. We'll talk about it. But I guess I'm hot as fuck. I need to take my
Look at you're wearing a turtleneck. Pull the thing down. I've never seen you so covered up in my life.
No,
you're talking about Jessup. You're doing Mormon vibes right now.
No, but stop it. I don't show my tits anymore. Have you clocked? I mean, I know I had them out at Annette's at my wedding, but someone was telling me that I looked so fucking good in that dress.
What, your wedding dress?
Yeah, and it was a guy as well.
Amazing.
And I was so surprised because I was like, oh, I didn't know guys notice these things. And he was like, no, you looked like really,
yeah, but he's
really
not
good.
saying, oh my God, the dress was well tailored. Oh my God, look at the hair.
He's not like,
look at
yes,
the princess
honey.
seams. He wasn't saying that. He was saying, right, you look good. And of course, guys would notice that.
Okay, well, fair enough.
You look so. Even when I was editing the vlog, I was just like, "Bro, this dress." I was like, "How do I do this dress for my wedding without friends being like, "Rah, you copied my dress"?" But it wouldn't hit the same because I haven't got boobs.
Nah, but I mean, you could do it in a way that like she could put padding and shit in it. But
I
I'm not gonna lie, like
it
it was worth the money, and it was just I've never felt so sexy in a dress.
Yeah, it was a dress.
It was the dress. Even like okay, he doesn't like too much, but he was like, yeah, you looked so good. Like
that was a dress.
Yeah, it was.
So I don't know how you lasted the whole wedding. I would have been out in the back like, guys, hey, see you later. Bye.
Wow. If you notice, we were missing for a bit. Say no more.
I didn't notice. I was sick.
Oh yeah, you were. Also, you guys went to change at that point.
Oh, okay. Is that when when people escaped?
That's when we had our time alone.
You came back and there was a glow.
There was a glow.
And always believe in your soul. Oh, it's gold. Is it gold?
Yeah,
you are gold.
I think it's
glow.
No, it's gold. It's gold.
Okay,
yeah.
well.
And the bun at the back had gone as well, if you noticed.
Okay,
Okay,
well, say no more.
Life is for the living, enjoyment.
Enjoyment.
Okay, this isn't the wedding app. Let's leave it. But
let's keep it pushing. They've heard she's married.
They're tired. They've had enough.
No, but if they're listening, they fuck with us and they're not haters.
Oh yeah,
so they
and if you're listening,
they like it.
go and watch the wedding vlog on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's up now.
Yeah, it's up. It's the wedding. It's the hen do. I was pissed.
You look so good though. Wait, pissed about what?
No, as in I was drunk.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so drunk.
You look really good at the hen do.
Thanks, girl. I searched for that swimsuit and then I was like, yeah, this one does me right.
This is the one.
I feel good. This is the one. I feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I didn't wear white. It was so nice. I feel like the colours were really the colour was really nice. Like
yeah, it was nice. The contrast. We didn't take a group picture.
Yeah. I mean, we took a group of us, but not everyone, yeah.
Yeah, but not like a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice as well, even in our group picture where it's like the middle and the pink and the...
Yeah.
It was nice,
really
and
nice,
the whites, it was nice.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, guys, this documentary shit, don't watch it. That was the summation of what we were saying.
The end. Next week, we'll be covering.
So I'm going to give you some context into the Robert Fisher story because the documentary doesn't give a lot. It glosses over.
What? I must say, I think that it's like a TV special, but I don't think
I was
that
going to
it's an
say
actual
that. I was going to say
documentary.
it's like it gave me like, you know, Crime Watch vibes where they would do like a segment on a particular it gave that. That's what it was given. It wasn't given like actual documentary deep dive. It was just
exactly.
Like a quick segment.
It was basically like, here's me trying to find this thing. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, let's just do it.
So it opens up with this producer, Brianna Whitney, and we learn about this incident that takes place 21 years ago, and it involves a guy called Robert Fisher, his wife, his son, and his daughter. And then we randomly meet the Greenbacks, who are friends, like they're family friends to Robert Fisher's family.
Herb and Laurie.
It was given swingers. I don't know if it was given the same.
God. I didn't once think that, but now that you said it, I hear it.
Okay, so there was a bit where Laurie was crying and there were no tears, and I was just like, "Hon, you don't have to cry. Like,
you ain't gonna cry to kick it, my nigga."
Literally, like. So, anyways, they're family friends with the Fishers, and Mary, who is Robert's wife, actually works for the Greenbacks. And so it all kicks off when Mary doesn't show up for work, and Laurie's kind of like, oh, like, what's going on here? Like, she usually comes in, she shows up, blah, 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 and they get worried, and they go to her house, and then they find out that, like, her house has exploded. So they're like, what the fuck is going on? Are they safe? Are they in there? And
what happened?
I always think if I don't show up for work randomly one day, I don't think people would go to my house. Like, they might call. Like, my boss would actually call. Like, she'd probably call me a few times. And then when she hasn't heard from me, actually, you know what? Yeah, she would.
They probably would. And also, like, it's different because these guys were actually, like, friends.
Yeah.
That's like me and you working together in, like, a office or whatever. And then I don't show up and it's like, that's weird. That's not like her.
I'm showing up
with the exactly.
Yeah. So we meet three main detectives on this case, and spoiler alert, they're shit. So there's this guy called TJ Duran. He's the retired detective on the case. And then Hugh Lockerbie, a former detective. And then John Heiselman, current detective on the case.
So you like past, present, future, and like still no answers.
Literally, it's like
the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Literally, I was about to say. So at the beginning of the case, TJ got a tip that the neighbours heard Robert and Mary fighting. And basically they're just saying that, like, if they had been called when Robert and Mary were fighting, then everybody would still be alive probably. But because they hadn't been called when, like, Robert and Mary were fighting, you know, people are dead, basically.
Yeah, but also we don't know that because, like, you're saying that, but like, what would you have done?
Exactly. You might have just told them to calm it down.
Yeah, they may not have died then, but you don't. What, were you going to eradicate Robert from the home? Were you going to stop him from... It's just like you guys saying, like, oh, yeah, like, we know how to do our jobs, but we just weren't given the chance to do it on time.
And it's like, no, you don't.
Okay, so do it now then. Do your job now then.
Yeah.
Solve the crime.
Basically, only 3 bodies have been found in the house, and it's the kids and Mary. So Robert is missing, and so was Mary's truck. So at this point, they don't know if, like, people have kidnapped him, what has gone on, where he is. There's a lot of confusion as to, like, what's going on with
Robert. Yeah, what the hell has happened,
So looking at the bodies themselves, the kids had their throats slit in the bed, and then Mary's throat had been slit and she had been shot after she had been dead.
Yeah, guys, sorry, trigger warning. This is very violent and brutal.
Yeah, there was no trigger
warning.
I'll
put it in the show notes.
Yeah. And so then after this, they noticed that the gas lines had been rigged, and that's what caused the explosion. So at this point, with the overkill, especially with Mary, they're like, they think
because he shot Mary as well, didn't he?
Yeah, and they're like, because why else would you... Nothing had been stolen, nothing was missing. Like, why else would she have had her throat slit and then she was shot? Like, he probably did it.
Yeah.
So we learned that $280 had been taken out from the family's ATM, and there'd been no bank activity since. There was also ATM footage showing Robert in Mary's car, and this was another kind of deciding factor for them that Robert did this shit, because Mary's
the car is missing. He's missing.
He's taken money out.
Yeah, he's got the car.
Up.
Yeah,
and it was just
1 + 1 is literally 2.
Right, and it wasn't like there were like gunmen, like, but beside him in the ATM.
Yeah, exactly, forcing him to do anything, and he's looking calm, cool, collected.
So Herb Greenback advises police to go to a specific hunting ground that Robert used to go to, and he just said, "Listen, go and check there. He might be out there. You know, have a look." So when they get there, lo and behold, Mary's car is there, and so is the family dog. And literally, basically, by the time they got there, Robert was gone. So that he wasn't there. It was just the car, and it was just the dog. So now we delve a little bit into like the family life. So they're trying to kind of paint a picture of Robert, because everyone's still trying to make sense of this murder, why it happened, everything like that. So we see home videos, and like there's this really weird thing about the home videos. Like Mary's just not in them. Like it's just Robert and
the kids. It's weird, isn't it?
It is weird, but like.
But also, she could be taking the home videos.
That's what I was going to say, because I feel like if you had home videos, they would kind of look like that. Because the likelihood is you would be the one filming them.
But then you don't hear her either.
I mean, I don't know. She could have.
Maybe she's just quiet.
Yeah. And also, like, they do this thing where they're like, oh, he's quite controlling. I just think those videos look like normal home videos to me.
I do. I think that basically, because of what's happened, they're now in retrospect seeing it exactly the way they want to see it. Because they're like, oh yeah, his body language, he's folding his arms. Okay, cool. He's just a stiff nigger. Like, he just, do you know what I mean?
He might just be literally a stiff guy. I'm not going to lie, guys. Please, please, please don't crucify me. Don't burn me at the stake.
No, don't do it. Please don't do it. If one of us gets in, then we all go through it. Like, no, don't do it. No, I know what you're going to say. And the thing is, you listener, you've listened to Four Ends for enough episodes. You know what she's going to say. We don't have to say it. Let's keep it pushing.
But do you agree?
I do not disagree. We're going to keep going.
Oh, that's a first.
We're going to keep going.
I said what I said about Putin. You wanted to hang me by the neck.
Yeah, because I don't want fucking, what's it?
No, I take it back now.
What they did to my man.
With all that's been going on, I take it back now. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this guy's a bit It's scary because these are the people you see in a bar, and
this is what I'm saying. Normal people are not normal, okay?
Yeah,
you just never know. Everyone's mad. Every time, yeah, you leave the house and you make it home okay, yeah, you thank God for another one, because you don't know who you encountered. You don't know who you just missed.
Isn't there this statistic that in our life we walk past like 3 serial killers or something? Like,
well, is that in America though?
Yes, America, yeah. No, okay, 33, not 3. That 33. Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense in America though.
I do have the theory that like in America there's more like crazy people or / serial killers because there's just more people there, so there's just statistically going to be more of them there.
But do you know what somebody was saying? Somebody did this stat and they were talking about, I think, did I not tell you when we did the Jane's episode? Go back and listen to that, guys. But basically they were saying that a lot of the serial killers, like prolific serial killers, all came out in, was it like the 80s, 90s and stuff like that. So their parents had just missed like the legalization of abortions. So there were more kids being born into like...
Oh, I think you did say this, because then I spoke about the Freakonomics book and how they looked into that. Yeah.
So like they're saying like now with like this abortion, the stuff that's going on with Roe versus Wade in America now, in the next 20 years, the expectation is we'll see a higher amount of like serial killers and criminals because people don't have access to abortions.
Well,
that's their problem.
Well, stay safe.
None of my business.
Stay safe out there.
They're having this conversation, about Mary and just what could have gone wrong in their marriage. And they're obviously saying that, like, Rob was, like, a military guy. Like,
Who's this? Herb and
his wife. Not his wife. Herb and the producer.
Oh, and
Brittany.
What's his name again? Robert.
No, Brittany. They're having a conversation about Robert.
Oh, Brittany. Sorry, the host. Sorry. No, Brianna. That's why I don't know who she is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, not hit me one more time. One on one.
Do you know what? It's Brianna and Whitney, so you probably just put it all together and got Brittany. Yeah.
Okay, so Brianna.
Yeah.
Brianna Barnes.
Bree.
Flood up.
Sometimes it's bad. You can feel all by yourself. Check one, two.
No, do you remember the episode where like her friend, her best friend comes through and Tracy. And
yes, her dad but he's a boy and he's buff.
And then he's like, I don't care if he your baker, your candlestick
maker.
I'll never forget that episode. Nah,
when I said we had Trouble Channel was the shiznais. Like that was amazing. We had all the shows.
That show just made me want my dad to be a single cool dad. Like,
I know, a bachelor.
Yeah.
And then my parents sometimes I'd be wishing my parents, why don't you people just divorce?
And
let me move to Nova Scotia. Honestly, and let me stay with my dad.
Nah, honestly, that show, And then I fancied Arnez so much. Like, he was my teen, like
crush.
Oh, now
I fancy Flex. I really like Flex.
You were ahead of the game, because as an adult watching it, I'm like, Flex, that's a bit of me.
I was like, okay.
No,
okay.
Back then I was like, Arnez, he is I had fanny flowers before I knew what they were for Arnez.
Before I realised what a fanny was.
Literally.
Yeah, no, Flex was.
Yeah, but look, as
that's still my type to this day.
Flex is a bit of me.
Yeah.
Dwayne is a bit of no one, but that's
no. Someone out there is a Dwayne lover, and that's fine. That's okay. He's lovely on the
Anywho.
inside. He's a great guy, Dwayne. He has a lovely heart. Him and Candy were a great couple.
Dwayne was a leech. Can we not romanticize him because you want to come across as politically correct?
It's actually true. No, but he was he not
and
lovely?
He was irresponsible.
Do you know what?
Girl,
actually, now that you say these things out loud,
if you had a friend like him,
I wouldn't have a friend like him.
Okay, so what are we really saying?
Yeah, it's true. No, but why do I feel like he was a lovable?
You just loved him because he was like a goofball, but like in reality, as a grown man, he was embarrassing.
It was actually very embarrassing. Yeah.
Ah, please let us not.
Wow.
So Herb says that, you know, Mary was trying to gain her independence. She was starting to work, and he felt that was a threat to Robert, and this could have been the catalyst for some of the problems they were having. And he also alludes that there was a point in time when Mary made it clear she was afraid that like Robert would hurt her. So I think there was a time when he went somewhere and he was asking her to come meet him, and she didn't want to go by herself because she was afraid he was going to hurt her. So obviously something was bubbling.
Something's bubbling, yeah.
But we're not all
bubbly.
And they're quite religious as well, so she probably just kept quiet and just took it, whatever it was that was going on. So we learned that the police got a lot of tips around this case, especially around where Rob could be, because obviously they found the car, but they didn't find him. They didn't even find any trace of him, to be honest. Like, even apparently the dogs, like the sniffer dogs they brought, they couldn't find like any trail to follow, nothing.
That's wild. But then this guy's a hunter, so
yeah, so he would know how to like
do shit.
Yeah. So basically, we see two tips that stick out that could be him. And this is where the documentary does this jumpy thing. So there are things that they say, and then they move on to something else, and they try to make it salacious and come back to that thing. Yeah. So yeah, okay.
And they also have a lot of ad breaks. They're not really ad breaks because you don't see an ad, but like, you know, when it like stops, and then you know that when it was on TV there was an ad, and then it comes back.
She stops at a bit where it's like, and then you're like, so this should have been a break, and feeling like you're coming back.
It's just like, okay, but why did you include that? Why did you not just like edit it for YouTube? Like,
yeah. So we learn of the two tips that stick out, but I guess they're going to come back and revisit that. And at this point, we have a name for what Robert is. It's called a family annihilator, because the girl goes, "Oh, would you consider him a serial killer?"
And it's like, bitch, are you stupid? Of course he's not a fucking serial killer. He killed, literally, if anything, you might say spree killer, but it's not even a spree killer, because it's just...
It's three men down.
It's three people in one place, like, your family. Like, why would you not?
Yeah. So they try to make it like they've said something profound that we've never heard of, and they're like, no, he's a family annihilator. That's
like, we can't name five right now. Like, literally,
it's fam.
Yeah.
So,
and do you think it's crazy though that like and this has happened enough times that there's a term for it? Like, is that not terrifying?
Yeah.
This has happened enough times that there's a whole phrase for it.
Because you've got like the likes of John List. Like, that one was fucking wild.
There's what's his name? The one we even did him, Chris Watts.
Yeah, Chris Watts. And they call this guy Scott Peterson. But I don't know if he's a family annihilator.
But does it count? Well, I mean,
do you think he did it?
I don't know. Kind of, because I'm just like, who did it then? But then that's not a reason to...
Yeah, every time I listen to something, I still cannot be sure. I would think, like, with Adnan Syed, like, I knew he didn't do it.
He didn't do it, yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know, but I know.
Yeah,
do you know
what
I mean?
You felt he didn't do it, yeah.
But I'm still so confused about Scott. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, this guy did it, yeah. But then other times I'm like, I'm not sure.
Is he in jail? He's in jail, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in jail for life.
But that's why it's crazy, because like there's actually reasonable doubt.
Yeah, there is.
So like, going by the law, technically.
But this is the thing, it's a jury of your peers, and your peers could be anyone. They don't give a fuck if that person is stupid or not. So it's really up to like them to decide. Like, I think about the fact that I was on jury duty, and luckily for me, my guy was guilty as fuck. He did that shit, right?
Yeah.
But really, like, if I was on that Scott Peterson trial, I don't know which way I would have swung.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But
yeah,
I don't know.
So crazy. It's crazy. Icky. It's icky as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, a forensic anthropologist says that the victims were almost decapitated. So that is the force at which, like, he...
Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my God.
To the fruit of your own loins.
Literally, I don't understand it. Like, and it's just so... It's like, and it just goes hand in hand with the fact that he's a hunter. Like, did you even see these people as your family when you were doing this? Because that one... The family annihilator, the one in France. What's his name?
Yeah, he's the other one.
That one, yeah. Him, like, I think he gave them sleeping pills or something.
Yeah, he did. So at least
and
they
it's
would
like,
sleep.
It's just so inhumane. Like, it's fucked what you did to them anyway, regardless of how you did it. But the way that you did it, it's like, are you all right?
But it's just pathetic to me because you kill your family and then you go on living. Like, I don't know.
Like, do you as well? Like, you should also die.
If you feel like this life is not good enough for your own kids to live, what are you still doing about? Do you?
Exactly. It's like, why? I'm sorry. Like, why did your kids have to die?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's like with Chris Watts, that fucking stupid idiot. Yeah, and it's like I didn't want them to, like, but they would have been alive. They would have actually been alive. They just piss me off so much. You're so fragile, yeah. And just like, why didn't you just? My mum always says like, oh, these people, I wish they would have started with themselves. And it's like,
yeah, like, do you
it would have actually been fine.
It would have been fine.
Do you first, I'll go next. Like, do you first. Like, it's just so sad, man. Literally, like, Bobby and Christina were like, is her name Christina? Brittany. Bobby and Brittany were like so young, and it's just like, why did you do that? Like, the kids.
Yeah,
so why did you do that?
Yeah, when you said Bobby and Whitney at first, I was like, Houston? Yeah,
I know. This is what I'm saying. Me too. And maybe that's why you called Brianna Brittany. Because of the Brittany, the daughter.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all mixing into one right now.
It's all mixing up into one Hollywood.
Bobby and Whitney, your fam.
So that was another, like, fucking... So one of the producers asked Heisman? I
didn't write it down.
I wrote both names down, so it could be either or.
John.
If there were any mistakes made in this, like, investigation. And it's something to say, yeah, maybe we fucked up a bit. He was like, there were some limitations.
What does that mean?
And it's like, bro, at the end of the day, yeah, like I know that, like, in this day and age, there's so many things that make it easier for, like, police officers to solve crimes, yeah. But either way, people are solving crimes with less. So surely you guys should have been able to do your job. I know you're chatting about limitations.
And the thing is that there's also things nowadays that make it harder for people to solve crimes. So in any case, like, there's pros, there's cons, there's things that help and things that hinder. So, like...
Yeah. It's all just everything. So... Now we're back where we're back where Robert's truck was found, and someone is saying they saw Robert the day his truck was found. So they saw him walking along, like, the motorway, and they were driving away, and they're sure they saw him. But you know what it is, yeah? Like, people just, like, when there's shit like this, everybody wants to inject themselves into, like, this investigation. That's number one. And two, like, it's easy to say you saw something that in actual fact you may not have seen, because... And
you really feel like you saw it. You've convinced yourself that you've seen it.
Yeah, you've convinced yourself you've
seen
it.
So you even think that you're helping.
Yeah, but you're really not.
You're not.
So we get Mexico tip, and we see the pictures, and it really does look a lot like him.
It does.
But it wasn't
so weird. And then he has the same scar as him. Like, it's just... He has, like, a scar on his back. Is that someone else?
One. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Whoops,
but
spoiler alert.
the Mexico one physically looks a lot like him, and it just makes me think, how many double gangers do we all have?
I was thinking this the other day. I was like, I wonder where the person out there is that looks like me. And I hope they're doing all right.
There's a website you can go onto, and you can like, put your picture up, and then it can find your double ganger. It's not deep,
it's fine.
God, it's so annoying. I did my 23andMe, and
I was thinking about that today.
Have you got your results? Gagging to know where I'm from, and then they messaged me. They're like, oh, like, for some reason we couldn't extract DNA from your, like, sample. Like, it happens.
This is God telling you, don't give the man your DNA. That's what this is.
They've sent me a replacement kit. If this one doesn't work, then I'm done.
Oh, you've done it. Okay.
No.
So that's what do you have to give them when you do the test?
Spit on it.
I want to spit on it.
Where is that from?
Tell me why you deserve it. Ari Lennox and Jasmine Sullivan. It's Sit on It, but I was just doing a remix.
Okay.
You would like that song.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of me. It sounds filthy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In my Harry Styles era, though.
Okay. This girl put in the group chat, oh, he wants to go see Harry Styles. You don't know that I've just paid Beyonce. You're asking me about Harry Styles.
I was very offended by the responses I got.
They were underwhelming at best.
Literally, a simple yes or no would have sufficed. Like,
and it was like, who?
In this current climate, I was like, oh, sorry.
Nah, fam, I just thought Teeth and Nail.
His album is
I will
so
listen
good.
to it. I just when I finish with Renaissance.
It's like, it gives me that. Do you know what it is? It's freeing. It's like, I feel like I know what it is to be white when I listen to this album. And I suddenly feel like I don't have oppression, or like, I feel like that job Beyonce was telling you to release, you've released it. It's so free. Yeah. Like, you want to go into like a meadow, forget you have hay fever, and just dance around. You know the meadow where, did you ever watch Twilight? I don't know if that was one of the movies you didn't watch.
I watched it, but I don't remember it.
I don't know if you remember, there was a scene where, there's a scene where Bella and Edward are in a meadow, like, lip-sync. Like, it's like that. It's freeing. Like, just
But then what happens when you turn it off?
Yeah, then it's back to normal life, innit? Okay. So I listen to it on my way, like, usually when I get to work, I'm like 10 minutes away from work, and then like it's too short to start a new podcast and it's too long to sit in silence, so I listen to it and I'm pumped up. I'm like, yeah.
What songs are your fave? Actually, don't tell me. I'm going to listen to it and then I'm going to come
and then tell me, fucking Now that album is good, man. Harry did his thing and he's sexy as well. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm being I'm being influenced.
You're being conditioned.
TikTok, man.
And then you're gonna give them your DNA. Look, it's all happening now. Where's Umar? Where's Dr. Umar? Apparently, there's a documentary coming out about him. You know.
We need to do that. Consciousness over coochie. Like, do you know what? I fuck with him. Huh? No, I have to admit to myself.
Are you saying that aloud? On our platform, on our medium.
Wait, let me finish now.
Okay, land.
Not all the way, but I fuck with him in the sense that, like, he's entertaining. Like, I find him extremely, like, I watch his shit and I'm like, yeah, this shit is funny. I mean, some of the stuff he says, like, you know, I've never actually sat down. Yeah. He makes great memes.
He does.
And I'm like,
that
and he wears crazy outfits.
That I would give him.
Yeah, I look at him and I'm like, this shit is I fuck with watching this shit because it's entertaining. I mean,
I've never like sat down and watched it. Like, it's always stuff I come across on the timeline that I'm like, oh, haha, or or whatever.
He's funny as fuck, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's homophobic, transphobic, all of that shit, and I don't fuck with him in that kind of. I'm not endorsing him, but do I find him funny? I do find him funny.
Can he be funny?
Yes. Sure. I mean, consciousness over coochie. I mean, come on. Come the fuck on. Where else are you going to get that content?
No, but if they do a documentary about him, we'll definitely cover it.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely cover it. If they did one on Kevin Samuels, I'm down as well, because that guy was an enigma. I need to know what the fuck that shit was
about. What would the documentary be about? What would they know? What did they know about him?
I want to know how you come on I want to fucking know, okay? How you come on this fucking internet. Harry Styles is internet, right?
Stop it.
And you say to women that they are this and that, and they should be looking for high value men, when you are living in like a rental squalor, and you died on top of a woman that was not even your wife or nada, with zilch in your bank. That's what I'm trying to fucking figure out. I'm trying to figure out how you pay for them suits. And we need answers to these questions. And until I have them,
filmmaker, take note.
Nigga, I'll make my own film soon if they don't make one. I want to know.
The way she sat up, you people haven't seen yet. The way she sat up from her chair.
Yeah. Don't ever. Nah. Guys, I feel like my sound is going to be really high. I'm looking at the waves and they're like that. It's
God,
crazy.
Lord help me.
Lord Jesus. Okay. But this documentary is so shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What were we even saying?
This bit was crazy. So we've seen a guy that looks like Kim, and this baby's saying that they're still getting random tips up to this day, which is in 2022. And that for me was the most shocking part of this documentary, that the documentary was made in 2022, because the fashions were given 2009.
It was actually given 2009. Yeah, it was so strange. I didn't realise it was made in 2002.
No.
22.
Yeah. 20. Yeah. I was like, this is so shocking. Like, I rewound that thing 3 times. I was like, no, I know you're fucking lying. I know for sure.
22. Are you sure?
Girl. Anyway, so one of the most credible tips they get were around Young, which is an area. And we meet Jessie, who says that she was at a shop one day and this old man came in and he started getting agitated when he saw pictures of Robert, saying that that's his friend, he lives on his ranch and he didn't do anything. Then this guy disappears. They never find the ranch, they never found Robert. So I don't even know what the fuck that was the truth, if that was the truth or what. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. So they're back to where Robert's car was found, and they go looking in a cave, because this cave is where people suspect he was hiding out, and they want to go and check to see if it's possible for someone to hide out in there, and they find out that he could have been in there for over a week. I mean, they don't see evidence of him.
This is what I'm saying. So my thing is that, like, to what end? Okay? Because it's like, we know that people can hide in caves, like people have done it before.
Yeah.
Like, we know he was a skilled hunter and he knew the outdoors and all that stuff. So you guys taking your GoPro and climbing in and out of caves and doing all this stuff, yeah, it's like, okay, to what? And you guys just wanted a day out.
Yeah, you just wanted
a
to
day out. That's it. That's all.
She looked like in that scene, she looked like a soccer mum. She looked like those mums that go to pick their kids up.
Yeah. And they wear Lululemon.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And they're holding a frappe and they're just like, yeah. So we learned about this Canada tip that apparently was the one that they really thought was him because it had the same surgical scars as Robert, had the same missing tooth.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. I wonder if my doppelganger has like healed nipple piercing scars. Weird.
Literally, that's so strange.
Yeah, because the piercing never heals, so it's still there.
Which one?
My nipple piercing.
Yeah. Mine hasn't. Yeah, mine's not. It's not really.
Did you take yours out?
No. It's still in, but I don't think it's like fully healed.
It never heals.
It's like, it's okay, like for the most part. It like flares up every now and then.
Yeah, but it never actually heals. Like,
that's annoying. So that means that when you're breastfeeding, is it gonna squirt out the sides?
No, because the holes are gone, but that piece of flesh doesn't look the same as the other nipple.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's like if you, No,
because there's something like when I pierced my ear.
That's what I was gonna say. Then I was like, no, actually, yeah, your ears it would just close up, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you started watching the new episodes of You?
No, I haven't. I want to just sit down and binge it, but I'm not gonna have time this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I just started because I was like, I'm not gonna have time, and then
I might have to episode a day. Yeah, how many episodes are there?
I don't know.
It's gonna piss me off, man. Why is there another season?
No,
but I love
no. Do you know what? This season they've done it really well because from what I can see, it's not really about his obsession with.
Okay.
So it's not the same shit repeating itself.
Okay.
There's a twist.
Oh
my god! Do you know what? Yeah, I was listening to a podcast, and then I literally nearly I jumped and then almost came in my pants, because it was his voice.
What, Pen?
Yeah, and they did an advert and it was like, hello. No, that was not the right voice.
Okay, take two.
Hello, you. Look at you listening to your podcast again. So predictable. I came to London for a holiday. And I hope I find you. And it did this thing where it echoed in both, speakers.
Yeah, where it switches between the thing.
And I was like, he sounded so good.
I love him,
And even in real life, I'm like, bro, I would fuck with you heavy. Like,
I love him.
He's not my type. He's really skinny. But I am like,
I love him. Even the way he says, in interviews, even guys cross their legs like that, I'm like, you are a very secure nigga.
You are so secure.
So secure.
And then he does his little dance.
I'm so secure. All my roommates said today, wow, I need to add more to the playlist. Let me ask you earlier to sort us out. But I love him so much. And also his friendship with Cardi B, I don't know if they're really friends, but they're back and forth and they're swapping pictures and stuff.
I love it. Her song is on the first episode.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I just, and obviously
and he's friends with this black guy as well. I don't know if you've seen him, this guy that makes music as well, and they're always doing these little dances.
I sent that dance video. Was it you? I sent it to you on TikTok and I was like, I love him. I'm in love with him. I'm in love,
yeah. Pen, if you're listening to this, I want a bit of you.
Okay. No, stop it right now. No, I'm not even going to tell.
This documentary is 2 packs of ass.
I'm not even going to tell the viewers what you were just doing, all right? Yeah? Okay. I'm not even going to tell him.
Don't tell him.
Poor Mike.
That poor Mike. Don't tell him. It's muscle memory at this point.
Okay.
So, anyways.
Consummates one marriage and here we go.
So basically, they find out that it wasn't Rob through a test, but people are not convinced that it's not him. I don't think this guy looks that much like him, though. Do you think he did?
They said that the fingerprints don't match. Yeah. And when they said the fingerprints don't match, I was like, okay, well, he burned his fingerprints off then. But then they were like, oh, they match someone else. And I was like, okay, maybe he just got into the database and changed it.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he has a fake identity. But do you think it looked that much like him? I didn't.
Just looked like a slender white guy with a nose and a face,
And so a neighbour went undercover in prison as well.
So, this
Canadian guy's in prison as well.
Because what are you saying? Basically, can you identify this guy and see if it's him? And then he's like, yeah, it was him. A civilian. A civilian.
What if he had gone there and dropped the soap? Now you're a beauty warrior. All for what?
No, I said, nah. Honestly, I think to myself, what kind of policing was this?
Honestly.
You just let civilians in the jail all willy-nilly. Oh, hey, can you just identify this guy for me, please? Like, what are you doing?
It's given. What's that guy's name again? Lil Nas. Remember that video he had with, what's that guy? The curly sexy one. The curly haired sexy one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you listen to Lil Nas at all? But you would have seen this video
Oh,
when he's in prison.
What, Jack Harlow?
Yeah, with Jack Harlow. Have you seen that video?
Oh, yeah. The music video that he featured in.
It's giving that, like, just letting anyone into prison.
It's like your jail,
dances,
literally. You can fuck off. Just have a look at him and let us know what you think.
Bro.
This is the kind of thing UK police would do.
Honestly, nah, they're moving mad. But yeah, he swears till this day that it's still him. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you have your beliefs, yeah, you're going to believe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, cool. Fine.
So Herbert says that...
Not Herbert, not the full name.
Herbert says he believes Robert went to Rye on a motorcycle and...
Rye is someplace in Arizona.
Yeah. And the babe goes to this point, and this whole thing was just pointless.
Yeah.
This is just based off of Herb's one assumption, or thought. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she goes to this motorcycle, and this is the bit where I was like, this shit is white as fuck. Like, I felt nervous just watching it because it was given in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Biker bar.
Podunk Town,
where for sure they're going to call you the N-word with a hard ER.
Yeah.
I was nervous, but she was in her element. Sis was flirting with this one guy who, I don't even know what his purpose was in this documentary because...
but what was the purpose of any of it, really? Truly?
It just was like finding Robert Fisher, but they never found him. So what the fuck was it?
You're actually not finding him? It's like the mystery of Robert Fisher. What happened to Robert Fisher? Finding Robert, you're implying that we are going on a journey and we will reach a destination.
And there's no destination. All you do is do a U-turn and go back home.
You do a U-turn. Literally, it's a cul-de-sac, and now you have to go around and leave.
Now you look stupid in front of all the people looking out of their windows.
All the neighbours who were on their way to prison to help the police. Like.
Yeah, so she's just flirting with this guy, and it was just annoying. And he does not give any indication to anything. He
doesn't help. He doesn't forward the case. He doesn't forward the documentary. He doesn't forward anything.
Yeah. So the detectives conclude by saying they feel like he killed his children because he didn't want them to grow up in a divorced family. We do hear this conversation with Robert's sister, who basically says, well, we don't hear it. Brianna just narrates what she says, which is Robert did take their parents' divorce the hardest, and I can imagine him saying divorce would not be on the cards for his family. However, she could not imagine him choosing murder.
Because that's quite drastic, is it not?
Yeah, it's an escalation. And that's really just the end of the documentary.
This is the thing. I get the whole like not wanting to divorce, because like no one gets married to get divorced, and like you want your family to be intact and you want to stay together, but honestly, when people say divorce is not an option, I don't agree, because divorce is always an option, and you just don't choose that option.
Now you're a murderer. Do you think you look better than if you were just a divorcee?
Exactly.
Like, it's even a bit sexy. Oh, I'm a divorcee. Like,
okay, like, coming from the fiance.
This is not to say that I will be a divorcee, but I'm just saying, like, you can sex it up a bit. Like,
you can make it when you're alive. You can do what you like. Do you know what I mean?
You can't sex up being a murderer. Like, there's nothing sexy about it. Like,
I just feel like, look, if you're in a situation and like it's not good, or it's not serving you, or it's not healthy, like, you can actually get a divorce. Like, God is not going to smite you down. Do you know what I mean?
But do you know what I find shocking about all these people that get divorces? Like, how do you rationalize it? Like, there are so many points of escalation. There's so many different things you can do before, like, murder should be.
Yeah, how did you get there?
Why was
that even on your list?
All the way to Z with no, like, though you didn't even stop in the middle a bit. Yeah, like, that is wild. So yeah, I mean, what do you think happened to him? Do you think he killed himself?
I don't think so. I think he escaped and he lived and he whatever. Because why didn't we just kill himself there? Why would he?
Yeah, and you know what though? They did do this thing, which was probably the only beneficial part of this documentary, where they show like how it was a perfect time to commit the crime, because there just wasn't as much surveillance at the time, and there weren't cell records and this and that. And they do this thing where they walk and they show like doing the same route that he walked
with the Ring camera.
Yeah, how many cameras would have picked him up? And I think they said just a short distance from his house to the ATM, like 20 cameras would have picked him up, and countless like speed cameras and stuff like that. But like at that point, I mean, he seemed to me like the kind of person that like
they plan and they execute, like with everything, whether it's just, he's gonna have a barbecue or something, like he's gonna think, okay, I'm gonna have this many burgers, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna cook it at this time, I'm gonna start doing this, and that's what he seemed like to me, like a very like regimented individual, but also a sick individual, because there's a bit where they talk about him like hunting and like being excited by like the blood and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, clearly this guy's a bit deranged, and I think that if he really wanted to escape, like, and not be found, he could, and then maybe he died, but like just like by happenstance somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But I do agree. I think he's still alive. Looking at how, let me keep my mouth shut. I was about to say something about you, but yeah. So guys, that was it. Are you about to do a spoiler? Okay, cool. I'll watch it. I'll message you. I was going to do a spoiler. Yeah. So now it's time for
the real crime. I think was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. I had a few. I already mentioned one that breaks every 5 minutes. Like, come on, grow up, The other one is that the music, I feel like they just were doing a lot with the music. They're trying to make it like be more sinister and like doing all that. And I'm like, babes, the story itself is sinister. The story itself is sad. The story itself is creepy, You don't have to add extra. And then the other real crime, I think, was basically there was a bit where like they were talking about like Mary's parents, and his dad was basically like, Mary's dad was basically like, oh, I don't believe that Robert was involved, like I miss him and stuff like that. And I was like, are you fucking stupid? Your daughter is dead, your grandkids are dead, they were murdered, and your son-in-law is missing with the car and
so
seen alive. So where do you
think he went if you think that?
So what do you think happened? You missed him for what? Sort it out, love.
Scary. I think mine I've already said, really, but the biggest crime is that this was a 2022 oh god, my brain.
Post-COVID
2022 post-COVID documentary, and it was this shit. Like the production was shit, the outfits were shit, it wasn't giving anything. It was even the filming.
I was like, maybe am I not watching it in like 1080p? Like what was going on?
I literally went to go and check what I was watching
me too.
It because I was like, how can this be so recent yet so
did they film it on an Alcatel? Like what?
Don't even fucking bother watching it. Like it's just, and I feel like there were better. This was such a poignant case. Like there were better things to have said and to have done. Like you can't call it finding him when you know we're not going to fucking find him.
Yeah, like, exactly. What they should have done is the case should have been the film should have been about like the family and about what the circumstances behind it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it was always going to be speculation, but you taking us on this faux journey to like finding him and like here and here, it's not really doing anything. Like this looks like it was.
Even if there's anybody who could possibly help from knowledge, this documentary, if anything, is going to confuse them more. Like, there should have been more about awareness about him and who he is and his patterns of behaviour and stuff like that. So that if you run into him on the street, you'll know. If I didn't know anything about this case, I could run into him tomorrow and still not fucking...
They didn't even do that thing that they always do, where they do the thing where they're like, oh, what's that thing called? Where like...
Age progression.
Yeah, exactly. Age progression. They say, oh yeah, this is what he's likely to look like now or whatever, nothing. And then at the end, you call for tips. So you want more tips on top of the tips you already had that didn't help.
Guys, that was it.
Anyway. Next week, we're covering a Netflix documentary. It's called For the Love of God. It is ridiculous. It's about a guy who says that he's Jesus.
Okay, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Honestly. So I'll play the trailer for that at the end. In the meantime, you can find us everywhere at 2 Girls 1 Doc. On TikTok, it's 2 Girls 1 Doc Podcast. And also you can find us on YouTube, 2 Girls 1 Doc. And you can check out the vlog of Forenza's wedding, where she's looking brilliant, and you can see the dress that she was talking about.
Yes, girl. Thank you. And you can find me on TikTok, Forenza Foodie.
Ow.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
2,000 years after the crucifixion, men claiming to be Christ are still making headlines. And one in particular has made more headlines than most. I've been given exclusive access to what the media has described as one of the world's most worrying cult leaders, Alan John Miller.
Actually, I've had a 2,000-year life, and my name is Jesus as well. So I was born Jesus of Nazareth in the 1st century.
He has been compared to David Koresh, the cult leader whose followers died in a mass fire at Waco. He's been described as the face of evil, with apocalyptic predictions for the end of the world. He breaks up marriages and uses his followers for sexual favours.
A friend of mine came to me one day and he said,
I've met this bloke and I reckon he's Jesus.
You know, how arrogant is that, and what a wanker.
I have read he has a compound and his followers are setting up home with him. Alan John Miller, or AJ as he likes to be known, believes he is Jesus and he's deadly serious.
The Roman soldiers weren't certain as to whether I'd died or not yet, and so they actually speared the side of my body up into the heart.
And the world's media are taking note as he broadcasts his teachings on the net.
I'm Jesus, but most people call me AJ or Alan John Miller.
I'm claiming to be Jesus, that's true.
How does it feel, though, Jesus talking to us today and everybody watching at home and knowing that 99.9% of that audience are mocking you, or laughing at you, or saying, this man is bonkers and she must be as bad as him?
He's invited round the globe to teach divine truth with his partner, Mary Luck, who also believes she is reincarnated.
Oh my God, this is true. Like, this guy is Jesus and I remember it. And actually, I remember who I am. Like, I understand who I am now.
I had to agree to be filmed and hand over my footage in order for me to get exclusive access to AJ and Mary. I travelled 10,000 miles to his remote home in the Australian bush, an area known as the Bible Belt, to find out the truth behind the media claims.
So basically, what's that guy, the Greenback's name?
The home videos.
No, the Greenback. Because I'm moving.
Oh, Herb Greenback. It's Greenback, you know.
Greenback.
Beck, yeah, Beck.
The Beck.
Beck from the Beck.
Like when he hit it from the back.
From the Greenback.
Okay, Herb Greenback says.
No, say it again. Say Herb Greenback.
Herb Greenback. Beck. Beck. Okay. Beck. Let me say how I know to say it.
Okay, you say how you say it. Go
Herb
ahead.
Greenback says.
No.
Beck. From the Beck. Beck.
Herb says.
Herb says. Okay.